Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Coach Paul Tortorella Show. I'm Jack Benedict. We're going to talk Crimson Hawks football here for you today as they came away with a 50-23 win over Seton Hill last Saturday, 8-1 on the year now. Coach, you didn't waste any time, huh? Third play, bang, 75 yards. Quentin hits McNeil, and he makes a great move, and I was just hoping we was going to stay in bounds.
Right.
But he did, and you were up quickly, 7-0.
Yeah, it was the first third down of the game, and we had put that play in, particularly for this game, for the coverage we thought we were going to get. It matched up with what we thought we were going to get. They actually brought the extra guy instead of putting them in coverage, and Malik Anderson did a great job picking up the blitz. We had a lot of time protection and threw the drive route to Dom, and once he got turned up into the sideline, JoJo actually blocked two guys. Blocked the one and just got in the way of the other one, and then Dom outran the other defender. It looked like he might have an angle on him on the sideline, and it was one of them deals where he was either going to get him after a 20-yard gain or it was going to go all the way, and luckily it went all the way.
Maybe overlooked, but JoJo's a pretty good blocker, isn't he?
Well, he's so big.
Yeah.
And he just on his size alone, he can get in the way, and and some of those smaller DBs can't even see around him. And once he gets on you, he's 6'3" and 220 pounds, and he's as big as some tight ends actually. But he's probably he's a really good blocker.
Yeah. You 538 yards, 50 points on the board. I know we talked with you on the post game. So were you totally satisfied though?
Well, I think offensively, we had a couple series in the first half where we were really sloppy, put the ball on the ground. Then we kind of got it going. We got our run game going. We came out in the second half, got a 3-and-out, and ran 3 runs and went the distance for a touchdown. So we're kind of up 30-3, and we kind of got a little too comfortable there. We had 2 series offensively in the second half. The one was just a one play, and we threw an interception, which we can't do. So it was a one-play series. We had stopped them. They missed a field goal. And then the other series is after a sudden change. We recovered a fumble. We had 1st and 10 on the +38, and we went 3-and-out. And we can't do that in sudden change. So other than those 2 series in the second half, I thought we did a really good job. Our second team did a good job on the last drive of the game. They were calling timeout and blitzing and trying to get the ball back. So, we're running our offense just like we normally do, and we hit the long pass to Carter down the middle, who made a great catch, and it was a great throw by Jalen. So we finished it well offensively. Defensively, we were really sloppy in the fourth quarter. We gave up 2 touchdown drives, and we're not in the, it's okay because we had our second team in there. We don't operate like that. We set a standard, and we expect our second group to go in there and play just like the first group does. So we'll address that and hopefully finish the game a little better on defense next time.
You brought it up about Jalen Reese. It was a 4th down play, 26 yard. I don't know how Carter hung onto the ball because not one. It's like he hit a brick wall, but there he had it, and there we go, 6 points.
Well, Carter hung onto the ball because he wants it pretty bad. He's a warrior. He's as tough as they come. He loves being here. He loves playing. Takes nothing for granted, and I didn't doubt at all that he would hold on to it because there's nobody out there that wants it more than he does.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a pretty good explanation,
right.
That's for sure. You had mentioned to us at halftime before the second half you wanted to run the ball, and you did.
Right.
Boy, Justice Evans had, when you average 16 yards a carry, 2 long runs, 175 yards overall, he is a pleasure to watch because he's so exciting.
Well, and he's not even, that was, I believe he had 11 carries Saturday. I don't think he's had a game where he's had more than 12 carries. So we're going to need him here down the stretch, I'm sure, to carry it more than 12 times in a game. And he's more than ready to. He's fresh. He's healthy. Last year at this time, he was banged up, and he was our starter. And he was getting the ball 20, 25 times a game. Now he's fresh. And it may be even exciting to see him if he gets his hands on it 20 times in a run game, what he can do, because he not only gets you the tough yards, the type of running back he is he can get you the tough yards, but he can also hit the home run too. And that's hard to find in a running back, to be able to get you the tough yards, turn a 3-yard gain into a 7-yard gain, but also be able to hit the home run like he did twice on Saturday.
Would you like to get Samir more carries too?
Him also.
I mean, he's that type of back that he can
Absolutely, and he had a big run. He had a 35-yard run there in the beginning of the fourth quarter that he broke. So both of them, have not carried the ball more than 12 times in any game. So we feel like if we have to run it 35, 40 times, they're both more than ready to carry it 20 times each. And then we have Malik Anderson, who's our third back, who's our third down back. But, we're taking what the defense gives us. If they start, especially on 1st and 10, if they're giving us a light box, we're going to run it. And we feel like we've got, obviously the Samir and Justice are guys that can give us what we need in the run game, not only making first downs with ball, possessing the ball and keeping our defense off the field, but, our problem right now is we're on the field a lot on defense because we score so fast on offense. 3-play drive, 2-play drive, 4-play drive. The first drive was 3 plays, 70-yard, 75-yard touchdown pass. We had a 3-play drive in the second half that went for a touchdown. We had a 4-play drive in the second half that went for a touchdown. So we're scoring so fast on offense, our defense is on the field a lot. Now, that's a good problem to have, but we're playing a lot more like we played 83 snaps on Saturday. Part of it was because our offense scoring fast, but also because in the second half we didn't do a very good job getting off the field on 3rd and 4th down. And that was the cause of the 2 touchdowns really in the fourth quarter. In the red zone, we didn't play very good, and we had opportunities on both drives to get off the field on 3rd and 4th down, and we didn't do it.
Well, your defense, you only gave up 13 yards rushing total.
Right.
Tillman was just unbelievable. He did a little bit of everything, didn't he? I mean, the safety recovers. He's got sacks. And, he's got people blocking him everywhere. He had a super game.
Yeah, he played well. He had, the so-called splash plays that they talk about. Ran a nice stunt on the run coming out of the end zone for the safety. Did a great job on it. 2 sacks, another tackle for a loss. He had a lot of hits on the quarterback just as he was throwing the ball. And, he's still not 100% healthy. He's still banged up a little bit with a shoulder and actually a thigh bruise, but, he's playing. And, right there, I believe at the beginning of the fourth quarter, we got him out of there. But he's still not 100% healthy. Hopefully we can get to where he can get close to being 100%. We can even get more out of him.
Now, you didn't have Jackson Heasley.
Right.
Will he be available, you think?
We believe so. He had a concussion last week, so he didn't make the trip. I would think that he'll get checked here tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have him.
Yeah, that'd be, big.
Right.
Special teams, talk about that. There were some problems.
Yeah, absolutely. We had, the muffed punt where the ball bounced back, hit our guy. It's interesting. We were watching Edinboro film this morning, and the same thing happened to them against Clarion. They punted into the wind. It was a 20-yard punt. It hit the ground, bounced back, and hit their guy. So we got to be way more safety cautious when they're punting into the wind, number one. Number two, Dwayne didn't give a fair catch, but he was making a hand gesture. I really don't know what he was doing, to be honest with you. We got a 5-yard penalty for that. He was trying to make him think he was making a fair catch, even though it wasn't, but you can't do that. That's a penalty. He's always on the fence and always on the edge of something. So that was one. And then we had the one punt blocked. We started moving the punter. I'm losing track here.
Oh, Grubbs.
Grubbs. We started moving him on rugby, and he had done a great job in practice during the week, but then when we got in the game, he kind of wasn't taking the right steps, and we almost had one block that ended up being a 10-yard punt, and then we did have the one block the second time. So a lot of things we got to clean up in the kicking game.
Yeah. Extra point.
Extra point blocked, and then we gave up a return of about 37 yards on one of our kickoffs. So we better shore that up, or we're going to be in trouble.
All right, Edinboro's coming up. Edinboro, they only have 3 wins, okay, but they've won 2 in a row. Gave Slippery Rock a battle. New personnel for them too. This is a lot of young guys that they're incorporating now, aren't they?
Yeah, the coach speak is going to say, well, they're a really good 3-win team, and here's the reason why. They lost to Cal, Grand Valley, and Slippery Rock. So they lost to 3 top 20 teams in our mind.
Right.
Okay. So, if you take those 3 teams out of it, okay, they're sitting at 3-3 instead of 3-6. Grand Valley beat them by 17. Slippery Rock, they were beating Slippery Rock late in the 3rd quarter. Cal was a 14-7 game into the 4th quarter. So they've played everybody close. They've won their last 2 pretty decisively. And they had a win at Gannon where they kicked a field goal on the last play of the game to beat them. But right now, other than us and Slippery Rock, they're probably playing better than anybody in our conference here the last 3 or 4 weeks.
And they have a player in Tanaz Gregory, wide receiver, not a big guy. I mean, he's breaking all kind of records up there. You've got to be aware of him everywhere he's on the field, right?
Well, on offense, as a receiver, you obviously got to be worried about they hit 2 deep balls with him for touchdowns last week against Clarion. They throw a lot of screens to him. He's also their jet sweep and reverse guy, so they get the ball to him a lot of different ways offensively. And then you got to worry about him as a punt returner and kick returner. He's a great returner. He has been a great returner. This is his 4th year, and he's probably been as productive as anybody in the league in the last 20 years in regards to the return game and also playing receiver, running reverses, jet sweeps, screens. They do a good job of getting them the ball, and he's a great player. We have to know where he's at all times.
Yeah, he sounds like your Dwayne Brown, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of he's a little bit like Dwayne and Dom McNeil, because he's built like Dom. He's really good, obviously, with the ball in his hands. You not only got to worry about him catching a ball, but you got to worry about his yardage after the catch. He can catch a 6-yard hitch and take it 60 yards like Dwayne has been doing, or like Dom did Saturday. He's no different that he could catch a drive route at 5 yards and go 70 yards for a touchdown. So you got to worry about his yardage after the catch. You got to worry about him catching the deep ball. You got to worry about him on screens. You got to worry about him on reverses, and then you got to worry about when you punt and kick it to him. So when you look at production from one guy, he's as productive as anybody in the league.
Yeah. Now you've got to replace Jeff Arnold.
Right.
Came up with a knee, and I guess he's going to be out for a while. So I understand you're going to switch McAllister to center now, his original position. Right.
McAllister was a high school center, played here at center early in his career. He's finally healthy.
Good.
So, you hate to say it, but it's like a trade. Now Jeff's hurt, but Colin's healthy. So Colin will move into center. We still have John Robinson at guard and Daubner at guard. They're playing high level, both those guys at guard. So we're fortunate that Colin is healthy now.
Yeah.
To plug in for Jeff. What Jeff really gives us as much as anything is very smart, really good snapping the ball because we're in the shotgun most of the time. Really good at making the calls, very efficient, a lot of experience. So we're going to lose a lot of those things. And now with Colin, we're going to get the experience, but he hasn't played a whole lot of center since he's been here. So that part of it's going to be a little bit different. But, he's a good offensive lineman and a good player. We're basically playing with 3 guards, and he has to snap the ball.
Yeah, okay. All right, it's senior day. And I know coaches always look back on the seniors that they've had, and they call them special.
Right.
Why is this group of seniors, how are they special?
Well, I think the thing you got to realize is we have 20 of them. And I believe close to 14 of them have been here at least 3 years. We got 4 guys that have been here 5 years and 7 guys that have been here 4 years, with some transfers sprinkled in there. They've been a great class in regards to character, great for the program, positive influence in the community. And then, they've won 39 games in 4 years and they're not done yet. So, I would really be happy if we could get a big crowd out this Saturday to honor what they've done for the program and for the university. They've been great ambassadors for the university and the community. Most of those guys are heavily involved in community service, and they've just shown great character throughout their time here, and they're 39-7 right now.
Well, that speaks for itself, and this is the last regular season home game. We're not looking down too, but still, it's a time to honor them and to come out and hey, listen, we're in the home stretch here, folks.
Right.
If you love football, this is what you want to see.
Well, you know, the thing that you worry about is when you have a senior day late in the year, if you're not in the playoff chase, it becomes counterproductive because it's kind of a sad type thing. You know, guys are very emotional, and I think that's what caught up with us last year against Shippensburg. Not taking anything away from Shippensburg. They played a great game and they whipped us.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, the emotion kind of got to our guys because they probably weren't going to get in the playoffs. Well, now this is like a playoff game. We have to win, obviously, so I don't worry about it to that point. And there's some people that actually do their senior day early in the year as like a celebration of their senior year, so you don't have to worry about that emotion at the end of the year in a game. And if it's not a big game or you're not still in the playoff chase, it might be a detriment. So we don't have to worry about that because this is just like a playoff game for us. And I think they'll be ready, and you know, hopefully we'll have another playoff game another home game down the road if we can win our last two.
Let's hope so. Hey, Tort, good luck.
Appreciate it, Zach. Thanks.
All right, we're coming up on Saturday at noontime for the kickoff, and we'll have complete coverage for you, of course, down through the week and ready for game day. And we hope you'll come along and catch IUP in Edinboro. Coach Tort, Jack Benedict here. Have a nice evening.